my world. Miguel Saka is back, apparently. He is back, and apparently he is ready to go for Tuesday. How much of a booster would that be for Arsenal? And the bigger question is, are you guys rushing him back? Do you feel like this is a rush job? Because many Arteta outers say that Arteta rush players back, he doesn't look after them properly, they get injured all the time. So are Arsenal rushing Saka back, or is this the perfect time to bring him back?
What is the recovery time for a hamstring injury?
What, 3 weeks? Like 3-4 weeks normally? I don't know. And then with grass on the well, like with rehab,
Bukayo Saka has been out since December. So
they did say end of March, to be fair.
So if December to March is rushing somebody back, and you guys think you know better than the doctors, you know better than numerous people who have studied sports science and this specific injury and said that this was the timeline, but you guys, specific fans, all of a sudden are doctors and they know a player's body better than the doctors and everybody at the club who's tested him. It's crazy to me. Now, if you want to say the player might be rushing back to play Real Madrid, maybe Saka himself was aiming to try to get back in time for this game, in time for the round of 16 to help the team get something. Also, the club, obviously they'd want Bukayo Saka to play if he's able to play, but this would not be. Arteta would not be the one giving the green light. The doctors would be giving the green light. They would be looking at the best interest of the player before anybody else's. And if I'm not mistaken, if it was a grade 1 hamstring, it would be 3 weeks. Grade 2, it would be like 4 to 8. The man's been out for 3 months. It's not like we've rushed him back after 2 months. Sometimes people need to relax with the whole rushing back thing. Because I was speaking to Northside about this yesterday. He said he feels like they're rushing him back. His whole premise of saying they're rushing him back is because Thomas Partey got thrown onto the pitch one time when he fell down.
Hey, Gal, do you think with Saka back in, let's say hypothetically he's in like good nick going into that Madrid game, how much does that give you? Like, are you confident now playing Madrid? I don't think you can ever be confident, but are you like in a better space now that he's obviously back in? You must be, surely.
You obviously have a better chance to win with Bukayo Saka. I think regardless if Saka's there or not, the game plan is very simple. We're going to have to be defensive. And with our best attacking player back, we now have a better chance to unlock a key in the case if Real Madrid try to come to our ground and say, you know what, you have the ball and we have to be the one to break them down. Or if they get a lead and we need to get back into it, at least with Bukayo Saka, we have a chance. But right now, let's be honest, whatever happens in the second leg, I'm not worried about that. The first leg, we need to be able to do whatever we can at home. And if we get to once we get to their ground, we're going to have to be at least 2-3 goals in the pocket already before even think about beating Real Madrid. Real Madrid are just capable of turning around a result in a second. And you need all your best players available. So yeah, of course, Bukayo Saka makes it a lot better, but I still don't know if it's enough to get over the line.
Well, I'll come to Will in a second. Roberto, there's a super chat for you as well, Will. So I'm gonna do that at the same time. Roberto, Saka is back, potentially fully fit. Does his inclusion against Real Madrid give Arsenal a greater chance of going through?
Yeah, I mean, I think it obviously does. I think without Saka, I think just having Saka on the pitch is going to give Real Madrid's defense something to worry about. And if anybody's watched Real Madrid this season, is that their defense can be got. Like, you are going to have chances in the game against Real Madrid, and if you can create against them, you'll get chances. I mean, I've seen lower half teams in La Liga create chances against Madrid, but because they're Madrid, they fail to score. They get shy in front of goal, they don't hit the back of the net, and then Madrid gets a 1-0 victory where they nick it at the end. This Madrid team, this Madrid defense, it's not the same as it was before. And I think having Saka on the pitch is going to completely change the outlook versus if he's not. I think it might even change Arteta's game plan to a certain extent. Because if you can rely on having Saka as an outlet, if you can rely on Saka being there, but then the discussion comes in, right? Yes, Saka's on the pitch, but what is he going to look like? Because we don't have any idea of what he might look like, leading up to the Madrid game. Unfortunately, we don't have a run of games. We don't have like 1 or 2 prime games one game. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying a run of games where you have a solid idea, like, oh, he's at the level. He needs a couple more games to get there. Like, I think we don't necessarily know where Saka's going to be at. Well, I do agree though with the assertion that I do think that he's
Fulham at home, Everton away, 2 games.
okay. Yeah. So then by that time you'll know whether or not he's being rushed back, right? If he plays, if you can see that they're taking care of him, right? They play him first half, take some him off in the second kind of thing. Then you can get a better idea of where Saka's at. But I think it's going to depend on what Saka's where his injuries at and how far he is into his recovery. If he hits the ground running, then we can have a different conversation. Then I think Madrid do have something to worry about because their defense is not solid. It's
True.
really not.
And then also, I think there's a potential secret weapon for Arsenal but might happen, which is called UEFA. Henry, you brought this to our attention backstage. UEFA are potentially going to take action against Kylian Mbappe, Rudiger, Dani Ceballos, and there was one more player. Who did I miss out there for that?
Vinny.
And Vinicius Jr. The talk is a potential ban. Well, I don't know, but yeah, what do you think about that in terms of Real Madrid getting penalized for over celebrating against Atletico Madrid?
I'll be honest, it's laughable. I mean, Rudiger apparently has done some sort of death threat towards the Atletico Madrid fans by doing that. I mean, I've seen Jamie Vardy point to the Premier League badge, laughing when Leicester have won a Premier League. I haven't. I've seen Jamie Vardy.
That's funny though.
I've seen Jamie Vardy at Crystal Palace away, running around like a seagull, doing that. I've seen Adebayor sprint the entire length of the pitch to celebrate in front of Arsenal fans by scoring a goal. Like players, they're human beings. They've got emotion. If they want to be shithouses after scoring a goal and celebrate, Rudiger's sprinting the way around the pitch, and you're going to penalise him and potentially ban Mbappe, Vinny, Rudiger, and I don't even know what Ceballos has done. Like this is. I know people are going to say it's Madrid. They'll get away with it because they pay off the refs and all these other lazy narratives. If they're going to ban those, that is ridiculous for me. I'm sorry, but that is absolute woke. Whoever in a way thinks like that is absolutely insanity to ban 4 players for being shithouses. When I've seen Jamie Vardy do it to my club for a decade now.
See, he's just saying this out of pitch. He's just projecting onto Real Madrid.
Like the whole Lewis Skelly thing. Lewis Skelly nicks flipping Haaland celebration and everyone goes into meltdown. Like, who cares? Get over it. It's a celebration. I hold the same energy for Lewis Skelly because I don't think he did anything wrong. And I hold the same energy for the Madrid players because I don't think they've done anything wrong. It's absolute madness.
I'll be honest.
Now credible journalists coming out, like not just the Daily Mail. There is a lot of people on Twitter now saying that it's legit. It's not fake. They are looking into it.
That would galvanize them to even be crazier against us. If Rudiger was out, obviously we have a better chance. Let's not lie to ourselves. If any of their players are suspended, we might have a better chance. But it's just going to galvanize them even more. If Real Madrid have the second leg and they have their fully fit squad ready to go, and especially after a suspension, they still have a good enough team to beat us.
Yeah, we gotta go to Will in the super chat. It says for the Timu Madrid fan, last time Real Madrid and AFC met in a knockout game, who went through? Saka is potentially going to be back. Potential bans. Will, I know you got limited time, but leave us with how are you feeling about this game against Arsenal? And do you think no matter what happens, even with Saka, even if you get banned, you guys will still beat them?
Yeah, I think that we're still going to knock out Arsenal, but I do want to give them credit though, in terms of it's not going to be like how everybody's saying that Arsenal have 0% chance and that we're going to absolutely batter them. We're not going to batter Arsenal. It's going to be a tough 2 legs. I think on aggregate, I'm predicting us 4, Arsenal 2. But it's going to be a very tough 2 legs. But if these players do get banned, which would be absolute nonsense, I still don't think it really matters because then they'll be back for the second leg. And since that will be at the Burnabout, I'm just more so worried about what does Saliba think when he comes to Spain? Like, how does he like the stadium and how does he like the facilities? And, like, does he envision himself playing here on a weekly basis? Like, that's more so what I'm viewing this draw as, is a recruitment process for my future center back. So, like, we'll see what happens there. But
William Saliba's going to have a career day at the Bernabeu. He's going to have Ancelotti walking him around the place, pointing stuff out to him, talking to all the other players on the pitch.
Tom, like on the international break, I already know that Mbappe, Camavinga, Chouameni, come on, like they were all talking. And
Mendy.
Saliba's probably thinking like,
Tom, best believe he'll be calling Trent at the end of the season. I know that.
I'm already done with the Trent
know-
stuff.
I know-
Doesn't matter. I know.
Listen,
It doesn't hit the same.
The thing about me is I understand that we're on board time with Saliba. He's such a great player. He's destined for the best teams. But my hope is Real Madrid go and get this guy from Bournemouth. Real Madrid go and get a couple other players, and they might not need him in a year or two when Saliba's contract's close to being out.
They might
And
want to
by
run
the
it
way,
back.
just so everybody knows, Saliba has 3 years remaining, not 2. His contract's out in 2028, not 2027, because he has a year extension, which people don't factor in when they talk about when they go on these
But,
websites.
it's so weird that everybody just thinks, yes, I get it, like the free agency stuff that Madrid like to do, right?
Real
Like,
Madrid will buy a player.
Brother, we can buy him as well. Like, I don't think that the board would have any issue.
We would have to sell. We would have to agree to sell him.
Huh?
We would have to agree to sell him.
I believe that would, but I believe that he'd force that move, especially if you guys.
I
he hasn't
don't-
won a trophy.
I don't
And
think.
then, let's not act like
I don't
Arteta
think. I don't
wasn't
think.
even- bro,
I don't think Saliba is in a
Arteta's
situation
respect
right
for
now.
Saliba.
I don't think Saliba's in a situation right now where he's going to force a move out of the club.
Nah, Gal, if you go next
Bro,
season,
Trent
don't
just
win-
left Liverpool, bro.
You just
Like,
said-
come on, man.
I
This is
don't
Real
think
Madrid.
Saliba-
He's lost
I don't-
Blanco.
No, I'm making it clear. I'm talking about this summer. I'm not talking about next year.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. That
Okay.
I like.
That's fair,
I
that's
don't
fair.
think that Saliba is a this summer signing. Maybe
Because I think
Who
if you guys tried to come to us for Saliba this summer, it would be north of 100 million, easy.
Yeah, but if
pay
they did
that.
go, if they did, because they can, if they go boom, 120 mil Saliba, you think Arsenal will say no?
no.
If at that point Saliba might force it. If it's 120 million pound offer, at
But I
that point we would try to force it.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, we wouldn't bid without talking to Saliba first. I think that he'll call, because the thing is, right? Arsenal are not a good selling club, and I do feel like we could take advantage, and he will be the world's most expensive defensive signing. Yes, like he will break whatever record, but I don't think it'll be.
Is it still
over
Harry
100.
Maguire?
I think it's for
I think
Fana.
that it'll be about 100, because like Arsenal don't usually do that good of a job of selling their assets like that, and I feel like we
No,
could take. advantage
but
of
you
that.
know why though? You know why?
Yeah.
Because when we were selling club, we were selling players that were at the time when we were selling players and we were selling club. It was early in the early 2000s to like late 2010s. We haven't really been selling any quality players in 2015 and above.
Yeah, he
Think
doesn't have
about-
many to be fair. That's why.
We haven't had many options. The-
Nah, you sold me
Don't
off.
pick up that rapid difference.
we, went
Cook
from
him, bro.
we went from having Alexis Sanchez and we could have sold him for 60 million to Man City in September to him leaving on a free and a swap deal for Mkhitaryan. Like, of course, we were bad at selling players, but we also never had a quality squad to this level. Let's be honest, a lot of the players in the squad are a lot better than what we used to have over the last 10 years. And I don't think Arsenal right now are a selling club. We're about accumulating talent to get us over the line. We're not looking to sell Saliba. We're not looking to sell Gabriel. I think today Saudi come with a €100 million offer for Gabriel. The club turns it down.
And I also will say, you guys
I
got right.
don't know about that.
Wait. If Saudi came in for how much?
100
if
million
they
quid
offer
for Gabriel,
100
and you're telling me
million
Arsenal
euros.
going no.
Euros, 100
Oh,
million
it's
euros.
about 95 mil or something like that. 90 million or something.
Yeah.
I still don't think it'll be an instant rebuttal. I think there'll be a serious look at that.
That would be tempting. That would be
No,
tempting.
because the
Yeah.
club
How old's Gabriel now?
20.
Gabriel's 27 or 26.
See, I think
You
that
can
would,
play
I
for
don't-
another
I think
5
that-
more years, bro.
I don't disagree, but I just think that near on 100 million quid for someone.
It's not.
I-
It's not worth.
Well,
It's
what
not
I will-
It's not worth it because that 100 million, you're going to take more than half of that to try to replace him, and then even then, it's not guaranteed you're going to get the same return in investment.
That's fair. Well, what I will say about Arsenal right now as well, compared to before when it comes to selling, is that you guys are better with your contracts, and I know that a lot of your sales back in the day as well were because they weren't renewing, similar to what happened with with Trent and stuff. They weren't renewing, and you've got to a place where we've got to sell them now, or they're not gonna sign, and we're getting them for them anyway. So you guys have got your contracts down. You were early on Saka, you were early on Saliba. Have you given Gabriel a new contract? I think
We currently are in talks with Gabriel, Saliba, Saka, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and Ethan.
Yeah, so you guys are getting very
Yeah.
early on these contracts to tie people down. So I will give Arsenal that they have definitely changed their ways when it comes to player contracts and the treatment of the players. So